Hi Booktube, it's Gina. Happy Thursday. I wanted to do a tag today. I know it's not Tag Tuesday. I'm going a little rogue. My schedule is all off, and I know you guys don't really care when I do a video for tag, if it's Tuesday or Thursday or Saturday. We're just going with the flow here. So I wanted to do the exposing my TBR tag. I've got the questions on my computer here, which is why I want to get a little iPad so I could actually just have a little iPad, but that's a whole nother topic. I was tagged to do this by my new Booktube friend, Jillian at Novel Opinions. Check out her channel. She's fairly new-ish, and she's super smart and has done some really fun videos. I've really enjoyed watching her channel, and I think you will too. And this tag was created by Reading with Tatiana, who I'm also subscribed to and have been for a while. And I also love her channel, so you should check her out. And this is the books I plan to read exposing my TBR tag. Actually, books I plan to read may be Jillian's title, so I probably won't include that. It is the exposing my TBR tag. Okay, now I think actually to start, we should talk a little bit about what a TBR is, because I think the way I think about a TBR may be a little different than how a lot of people think about it now. It seems like TBR to people is actually like every book that you own and want to read. Like, people have a zero TBR. They don't want to bring any new books in. They want to only like read books on their shelves. And so I think the meaning of TBR is really kind of encompassing like all of your unread books. And to me, TBR is just like for September, I've got a couple things I know I'm going to read. And so I've made some notes for my September TBR, which is probably going to be 4 or 5 books. And that is a little different to me than just my whole collection is my TBR. So I don't know, what are your thoughts on that? We're getting into the weeds, and I haven't even started the tag yet. So let's jump in, because for the purposes of this video, I'm considering my TBR pretty much to be everything, like all of my unread books, of which there are many. And we've talked about this before, because I love having a bunch of unread books on my shelf. I don't have a problem with that. So prompt number 1 is, how do you come across books to add to your TBR? And, you know, a lot of people say booktubers here, and I definitely do get ideas from booktubers. Not as many, though, I think, as some people, because I like to read older books. I like to read books from ladies writing in the 20th century and classics, and those don't come up as often on Booktube. So I do actually have a couple channels I'm going to recommend next. But if you guys have any recommendations for booktubers who like and read the same types of books I like, cozy books, women authors, things like that, I would love to hear them. I do get a lot of book recommendations from Instagram. There are a few channels. They're actually more cozy, misread, Rosamund Pilcher type of bookstagrammers, I think, than there are YouTubers. So I do have a lot of, sorry, I keep fiddling with my hair. I hate when people do that on camera, and I can't stop myself. Can't stop. I feel like, remember that, my mother used to always say this to me. There was a little girl, she had a little curl right in the middle of her forehead. And when she was good, she was very, very good. And when she was bad, she was horrid. And that's my little curl right there. Anyway, going a little berserk today. My friend Bab's Beloved Books, I get a bazillion recommendations from her. Her name's also Gina. We send each other books. She sends me books. She's probably added more books to my TBR than anybody else in the entire world, and I'm grateful for that. I love it. And I also get a ton of recommendations from you guys. I just did a video on my favorite old lady female authors, and you guys sent me a ton of great recommendations, and I bought a bunch of those books. Here's one of them. It's going to pop up here later. But I love getting recommendations from you. You guys know me pretty well as far as what taste I have in books, so I've gotten lots of great recommendations from you guys. Okay, prompt number 2 is Booktuber Shoutout to a person who adds the most books to your TBR. And that is really, there's 2 people. Lil at Lil's Vintage World, who also loves the Dean Street Press Furrowed Middlebrows. I've gotten lots of ideas from her on that. That's probably the channel I originally heard about that on. Of course, Miranda Mills. You guys probably already all know Miranda, but I always get a ton of recommendations. She's fantastic and always has a huge pile of books. It has a beautiful library, beautiful shelves. I love her whole aesthetic. It is just beautiful and charming. And yeah, I can't think of anybody. I mean, I get lots of recommendations from lots of people. I have a list going. I've got a spreadsheet going. I've always got things going. But if you know of anybody else that you would recommend, please feel free to pop any thoughts down below in the comments. Prompt number 3 is book that has been there on my TBR the longest. I actually pulled this one off of my shelf. This book is Mating by Norman Rush. You guys, I moved into this house in 1997, and this book came with me with a bunch of other ones, like quite a few of these. And it's on my shelf. I've looked at it. I really don't think I'm ever going to read this book. It must have been sort of a literary fiction book it was published back in 1991. It is set in South Africa, Botswana, and it is narrated by a she and a he who are apparently mating. So we'll see. I don't know if I will ever get to this, but you know what? I don't mind owning it. Maybe someday I will want to read it, and when I do, it'll be waiting for me. Let's see. Prompt number 4, most recently added book. I forgot to grab something for this. I'm gonna actually count my not unowned books for the TBR here, because there is a new Molly Clavering book called Dear Hugo that I think was recently released by Dean Street Press, and I really want to get to that one. But I don't know. I have so many books that I want to read, and I might. There's also a D.E. Stevenson called The Fair Misfortune, which I'm looking at. It's another Dean Street Press book. And I am going to read this. Actually, this is a good one because I'm going to read this one not next, because I'm not going to start this till September, but I am going to do a buddy read of this book with my friend Elle at Elle Thinks. We've done a couple buddy reads, and honestly, both of the books that we read were we had a great time reading them together, but the books themselves were really not that good. And so we're hoping, we both are big fans of Sarah Waters. We're hoping that we have a better book this time. So this will probably be my next on my TBR book that I actually read. Let's see. Prompt number 6, most anticipated book and why haven't I read it? Oh gosh, there's so many. All of my Dean Street Presses I want to get to, all of my D.E. Stevensons. I've got really, look at this, you guys. I've got Lady Rose and Mrs. Memory. That is this beautiful Persephone edition. I want to get to that. I really want to get to the Fianovar Tapestry series by Guy Kay. This is book 2, The Wandering Fire. I've got book 1 in a paperback edition. I need to get to this one because I love him so much. So there's a bunch. All right, prompt number 7, books that I added due to the hype around them. I mean, I did buy, actually, I was going to say I don't really buy many hyped books, but I did buy The Sentence by Louise Erdrich. I DNF'd it. I read maybe 20% and I just couldn't get into it. I've also got Papisho by Leon Ross that I bought after I saw somebody talk about it. So I definitely fall prey to the hype, especially on channels that I like. And I do like to just go into the bookstore and browse new releases and sometimes buy them, but I'm getting away from that because I generally I don't read the new releases as much anymore. Okay, prompt number 8, book that I added that I knew I wasn't going to read. I honestly do think I'm gonna read everything I buy, and I probably will, maybe if I live to be about 300. And 9, any books that I will remove. So I have this very interesting flow process for my TBR/library. This is sort of my shelf of keepers right here. And as I add more things to this shelf sort of grows. I've got another shelf over there that is sort of the getting to next shelf. And then in the other room, I've got probably not going to read this. That's where this kind of book is. Probably not going to read this, but I'm not ready to get rid of it yet. But that's where I pull from first when these shelves get full. So they kind of rotate through. And then the last stop, sadly, is donating or selling or getting rid of. So that's sort of my flow process. And I don't have it. Right now I'm doing pretty good. I do have one pile that's double stacked, but I'm okay with that for now. So I don't have any plans to remove anything at this point. And I forgot to talk about this. This was one of the books that I added to my TBR that you recommended from that video that I did about the old ladies. And I wanted to mention this one because I probably am going to try and get to this one sooner rather than later. We'll see if I actually do. This is by T.E. Kinsey, and look at this cover. I love this so much that I love this book. I love the cover. Okay, and lastly, number of books on TBR. I have no idea. I have a lot of unread books. Like I said, I love having unread books. I love having big stacks of things to read. And once they make it to the sort of way station in the other room and then leave the house, I just let them go. So anyway, that is my exposing my TBR tag. Thank you so much to Jillian for tagging me and to Tatiana for creating the tag. It's a lot of fun, and I hope that you will all do it. If you're watching and you have a channel, I'd love to hear your thoughts on your TBR. Thanks everyone, bye.